players in every single corner of the map right now. To London is Afro.
Oh my god, there are just a legion of players here. Peekaboo, I've been here the whole time! Are we ready? Let's get this show on the road! Cellium, who fights two right off the rip, makes it three! Taken down 1-5-1, last man standing. Oh! It's real early! Is it easy way to pounce? Where's the next? Give him the last point for him. Waiting for his demise, and there it is. Look at the minimap FaZe are in. It's the guts. It's the glory. It's the championship for FaZe.
Hey! 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 Sound pretty ready? Let's get it. How are we doing, team? Everyone still got the energy? We still feeling it? We still ready to go? Good enough, we'll take it. Lukewarm at best, but things are about to get real hot. Last night, the night was dark and full of tiny terrors, and for many, that nightmare has continued in today. Let's just skip the formalities. Let's do this. Let's bring them out. Your villains. Welcome to the stage, Atlanta FaZe. We got Cellium, Arcitys, aBeZy, and Simp.
A team that is on a 6-map win streak with one more match, they can get possible revenge against OpTic Texas. The boys look ready. I'm ready for this one, Miles.
They do look ready. Normally backstage, we sit, we stand, we have a little moment to talk to each other. They were strictly business. The business is what they're going to need. It's the team they're going up against, a fantastic slaying squad. They come off a hot loss though, as OpTic had their way with them in the winners bracket, but here in the lower bracket final, playing for a spot in the grand final, here in the major. Let's welcome to the stage, the London Royal Ravens. Afro, Gismo, Nasty, and Zero.
Well, you know what? Zero looks ready to rock and roll. Vibes all around. And on paper, these teams actually match up incredibly well. Both incredibly good at hardpoint with some really deep map pools. But Royal Ravens, they got to walk it out with this first Tuscan hardpoint.
Here we go. This is it. The penultimate match of the night before we get into the grand finals. It is sure to be an absolute banger. Texas, are we ready? Texas, are we ready? You sound pretty ready to me. But Maven, take it away.
Thank you, beautiful. I'm ready to go. It's time to get nasty. Wait, how do you do this? Ka-ka! Ka-ka! That was pretty good, right? Just like a bird. I'm like a raven. Time to get locked and loaded. Losers brackets, final time, a winner, a date with OpTic in the grand final. And yeah, FaZe, I mean, you're on a tear right now. You win 6 straight. On the other side, Ravens, you're trying to bounce back. But I mean, FaZe showed yesterday they had the ability to do it. You're sure Ravens do as well. But for me, it's like Ravens are going to try and make this series messy. FaZe are going to try and play as controlled as possible. Who kind of gets the edge in what they're trying to do?
I mean, they are going to try to play control, but they don't mind that messy style, right?
It's true.
You know, like let's dance if that's the way that they want to play. I think that they've studied London very well, right? When we've watched some scrims,
Studied you.
Well, that's interesting. But, you know, when those teams are playing against one another in practice, I think London, they've kind of had a lot of things figured out, especially with those long routes with their submachine gun players, Afro, the things he's able to do. So I think Atlanta FaZe, they're going to be ready for that.
All right, well, let's take a look at the maps and modes and how this played out. And aLLeY kind of mentioned, they both have very deep map pools, right? Like, and across game modes, you're solid. Was there something where you're like, got an advantage there?
I don't think so. No, both teams are, you look at this map set, it goes pretty deep. I think that Bocage S&D could be where things get interesting. Desert Siege is another one where I think it's just going to be fun because Atlanta FaZe, they play a little bit differently. A lot of teams, they rely on that snipe. We just saw it versus Ultra, and they just kind of have Cell and RC's chow. They just don't really
We're going to chow the sniper.
Yeah, snipe at me.
After I saw
I'm going to give you flinch, and then you're going to die because the auto's a beam.
Cell was challenging on the boat with a pistol. Like, he's going to chow whatever. I don't
Okay, that was a different circumstance. Most people probably didn't even know that you could do that. But
Yeah, right.
The map records for touch and hardpoint 3-2 for Atlanta FaZe, 3-1 for the Ravens.
Here we go. Time to get it rolling. The big thing they talked about, you know, You're so good at holding if you're Atlanta. You're so good at breaking if you are Ravens. A couple key breaks here for Ravens. You know, when you and I first kind of found out we were going to be casting, one of the scrims we watched to get prep was this one. I mean, the only Ravens map they won, it was a scrim, but it was Berlin, right? Hardpoint, that's not going to be in this, so. FaZe dominated it, but, you know, it's an online scrim. Obviously very different.
Yeah, very different, but I mean, just two completely different kind of stories here. Atlanta FaZe hot right now. Atlanta Royal Ravens trying to bounce back. They won that map 1 in the winners final, but then 3 straight map drops. And right off the start, Arcitys, aBeZy, they're going to get traded out as the nades come in. We know about those nades.
Yeah, yesterday. Oh, dear God. Well, so does FaZe. I mean, they're quite familiar with it, and that search and destroy, so many deaths to it. I think aBeZy joked like he felt he had 7 deaths just to grenades. They battle for any kind of control here, flying forward. Got the auto and MP40 to work with now as Arcitys looking for number 4 in a row, is running around the Rosie, pocket full of aLLeY as he's able to find it, but not able to take the next fight.
But already up to 5-2, and you know, we saw the most engagements in that last match that they played was him, and as a main AR, that is insane. And I just think it's one of those things where most of the time these guys cruise through matches, and you know what? He's the one that is making sure they're playing correctly. He's not really focused on himself. Typically after they lose, he takes it upon himself to try to make the plays as Atlanta Royal Ravens is going for the big pinch here. But Simp, he's going to re-pinch it, able to find 2. There's just 1 player left. That's going to be 0.
A pinch on the pinch, a little double pinch.
Yeah, double pinch.
I'm familiar with those. Is FaZe take the lead, and now try to get this time rolling. aBeZy already 30 seconds in the objective. Just try to survive all the stuns and nades that are coming in. Now he wants to push it out. And you know, with these hard points, without the trophies, how crucial it is. Like, get control, and you've got to push out cuts to try and stop them from getting nades over the top.
And this is actually great for FaZe, right? You have radio control with, what, 15 seconds left? Okay, I was going to say great, and then they get 4 kills. And typically in this game with squad spawns, the only time spawns flip is when all 4 get taken down at the same time. They have no idea. Look at this.
Yeah.
Arcitys, and aBeZy are all looking towards the right side of the map. That is just not, they're not there. They're set up here at P3.
Yeah, now they're going to find out, but that's a quick one on a 0. At least able to pick him off a big spot in the back, and now Gismo has been tagged up, trying to soar in his Arcitys, but Gismo, Nasty, and Afro able to hold. Yeah, I think they thought they had them spawning out like back church, right? Like top right.
It's like literally the only time where you see a spawn flip come in is when you have the 4 dead. And I mean, it has to be within 2.5 seconds. But they weren't ready for it. Now 0, Nasty, 3 go down for Atlanta FaZe. Simp, that is just a tough gunfight to take. And you know, it was looking like all Atlanta FaZe in control. They were up 30 points, but with that spawn flip, London, they're right back in this one.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like you almost wish one was alive a little longer.
Yeah, you do.
You played it too clean, right? And you kind of get punished for it. But they try to answer back and get the final 20 or so seconds around the hard point. Keep an eye on that number 2 on the minimap. That's going to be Arcitys, who's already wrapped his way around backside church. And working bottom will be aBeZy, as they're kind of setting up like a quad split right now. And well, yeah, you've got that many entrances into church. You got to hold everything.
Yeah, Arcitys just taking his time up to 12-6 on another 3 spree. He is just locked in right now. Gismo trying to do what he can, and you know, just not having the best weekend. From what we saw at the qualifiers, how good he can be. Need him to step it up. Him and Afro as Gismo 4-9 to start this one. Simp though, he loves to go on the pinch. He's pushing out the middle of the map. He's able to find another one. 5 spree for Simp.
You got to find that pace. You got to be locked in and carry this momentum as far as you can. But it doesn't get much better than that, right?
Not in this game. No, it does not. I mean, you still see the arrows kind of looking around, making sure no flip happens. But right off the spawn, Simp finds another multi-kill as he is snapping right now. Now a 50-point lead coming in for FaZe.
Yeah, he's feeling himself, and at the right time to get into a groove. 0 gets a couple shots in, and aBeZy goes vertical, and he puts him 6 feet under. Now to Nasty we go. As B5 getting ready. It's really just Cell here, all by his lonesome. As the rest will start to come off spawn, that's Afro that's starting to push it out. I'm just trying to keep them from having a 4-man effort, and the nades doing their best to delay them as well. As aBeZy comes on the spawn, this is going to be the big hit in, but Nasty once again, what a play. At least able to get 2 before he drops, but Simp there able to answer. You go 2 for 2, you're still retaining this hard point, but you got a presence here still from FaZe.
Oh, what a read from aBeZy. He's in a 2 versus 1. He's trying to buy time for the reinforcements. And well, he's able to find both those kills on a 0 and Afro. Now it's getting messy here at P5. Gismo trying to fly on in. but he gets cut down by Cell. The rest of the scrap time looking to go the way of FaZe.
It's just always kind of messy here, right? Just always.
Very much so.
Yeah. I got 3 dead, and 1 grenade comes in, and next thing you know, you're cleared out of it. But FaZe manages to break and at least kind of split the time on that hard point. Now they'll be sitting around a 40-point advantage. As we get ready to get into our second set of rotations, RC's at 17-11, just holding this with an auto, getting ready for the push. On the other side, it'll be Cellium, kind of worried about that long fight, but as you lose 1 player towards mid, heads start to shift.
And this is when we talked about the keys, right? #1 break team, #1 hold team. Who is going to come out on top? But you did have Afro go on that long route, now inside of you. He's got the help of Zero, and well, Cell just all by his lonesome, a good break there. I mean, P1, especially after a full rotation of hills, usually that team that gets there first, they get a big chunk of time. Not easy to break, but now it's Atlanta FaZe's turn. aBeZy with an aid, Cellium, as he continues, and well, they break right back.
Is that just something where, like, you lose 1 player, Cell then can't kind of pick up the
right? Yeah,
like that first domino comes in?
Yeah, you have to shift. You have to pick up something, and with all the different lanes on this game, I mean, once something's open, typically that's when the break starts.
It feels like as fast as Ravens can play, like the pace they have, like they slow it down for a second to find that opening kill, and then once they have a 4v3, like it is just go.
Well, the
Sharks smell
they're
blood.
normally slowing down is because someone's taking that route, right? Someone's taking the long route, trying to find that 1v1.
Back over to P2 as RC's continues to have the hot hand, now up to 20. Then finding the objective time. Nasty's angles just getting butchered, but it's a teammate. It's actually aBeZy that's going to take him out. He had a comical one yesterday as well. Simp just trying to make sure they still keep the odds here. Bit of finesse and fancy footwork, but Afro up to the challenge, still take his head off.
And this is just where this hill gets messy. You have one side spawning, TJHaly, one side spawning front church. It's still happening as Afro is able to come on up. But now you're going to kind of get into this situation again. We're Atlanta FaZe. They're going to rotate over towards P3.
Well, this time I think you know where they are.
Well, right now, unless they get 4 dead, that's going to be 3. Spawns do come in. It's Simp. He's on 5 in a row now, 23 and 11. They're just taking turns. RCC hasn't slowed down across the map. That's where Arcitys is.
Okay, well, this time they at least are able to get set up deep. Now, simple drops, so no streaks to be coming through. The cutoff man and aBeZy not able to slow it down too much, but we'll get a safe spawn there with his team. As they try to wrap back, here comes the big hit through the front. RC's just waiting on the help. He's a low man there, but on the pinch around, it's going to be aBeZy. He just comes off spawn, then tries to cut in from behind and turn heads, but you've made it sloppy here again if you're Ravens. You've gotten FaZe out of the point. aBeZy, though, with the double, might give them some semblance of time. You're now over the 200-point mark, and at risk of running away with this, you've started to dominate. Arcitys still just hitting right now with the auto.
Yeah, it's like they're making it messy, but then you have Cell all the way back in that spot, in that position. And, well, I mean, if there's one player you don't want to fight, it's probably him. They're going to flip the spawn, Jess. You're going to get the scrap time, and Lennon will take that. But Arcitys, as he pushed the middle of the map, he knew he was just going to rotate over towards Church. Just one step ahead right now is Atlanta FaZe.
Well, it felt that way until Nasty and Afro start to chain together kills. So you've still got RC set up all the way deep. You got to think they're going to isolate him, and they do just that. Yeah, look where FaZe are bottom mid, and they're getting pinched right now. That's going to be Zero. That's starting to work up behind him. How much a thorn in the side in FaZe can he be? Because we've got almost 20 seconds into this hard point, and Zero just keeps it going. He's a 15 and 19, but he needs to have a big sequence here if they're going to claw this back. You see the killing spree pop up there for Afro as well before he drops.
Yeah, killing spree, but is it just a little bit too late? 60, 70 points on a map like Tusk can just be difficult when you have that P5 coming up. Even this one can get messy, but London doing a good job so far, but their close spawns are in for Atlanta FaZe. Zero, the last member alive, and you're going to take this scrap time if you can.
Yeah, get whatever you can. Just get you closer to that 250. Put the pressure on Royal Ravens. And his Cell is the last man here. And with the spawn out for Ravens, you're going to have to focus on the rotation. Picking this up, you see it's going to be Simp's
that's the whole team.
And yeah, that's one of those sequences where you don't even get to take that one. You just get shots down between multiple players, but now just 24 points away from the map 1 dub. As they look to continue, this will be 7 straight maps. If they can do it, the centering looks good from aBeZy, but just not quite able to take the fight. But his deadly duo and Simp next up the bat.
Yeah, just waiting for his teammates. Coming off spawn, here come those days. He flies on through. A Nasty holding that staircase, and they're just chipping away 1 or 2 seconds if they can. Arcitys working through that middle well side. 30 seconds left. They're gonna maybe take one more slow push at this. They do not want to give up that rotation.
You know you gotta.
Everything is just blowing up.
Okay, yeah, they just burst on through.
And now you have to
Nades
go.
popping
London
everywhere.
has to go. They have to push this one more time.
You gotta think about the rotation. Yeah, and you have to try to get the ult so you don't lose the game. So many decisions to make, and regardless of where you go, you're running into somebody posted up from Atlanta FaZe. They can't quite get in for the contest. And FaZe's map win streak, which started last night, continues here. They're not skipping a beat.
It's a little different though too, right? Because it just feels like their fundamentals are on. Right? Maybe when you talked to Cell, it was all about the communication. Maybe the comms were flooded. Right? You get an amped up match versus OpTic. The reverse sweep starts to happen. The pressure is there. The small talk just disappears the longer that series goes on.
And I think that was obvious just from some of the individual challenges you saw. Just not working with a teammate. And usually that's comms, right?
100%. There you can see the stats right there. RC's not slowing down. 33 kills. Simp with a 30 bomb of his own. And on one of London's best maps, they take it handily.
Proud, we appreciate you. You've been amazing all weekend long. It's day 4. We're getting deep into this bad boy. We've got the losers bracket final here. Winner to take on OpTic for what may be one of the best grand finals of all time. But we look through some of the highlights from that map. And for the most part, I mean, it wasn't like a blowout, but it was a comfortable FaZe game from like the second hard point on.
Yeah, I think like maybe if that P3 is cleaner from FaZe, it probably
It's a blowout.
It's a blowout, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you never know what could have happened, but
You mean the one where they were all like P1 looking the other way?
yeah, exactly. I mean, 80 points though on a Tuscan, that's a pretty big win on this map with all the contest hills that you do have. But I mean, it's just everybody getting involved. Had Simp, you had aBeZy making plays. Arcitys just with his hot start as he is just stepping up on Sunday.
This is where you want Arcitys. I mean, I think it was a bigger story maybe when you were newer players in Cell and Simp and aBeZy when they were younger and less experienced. I think his maybe veteran leadership might be overplayed a little bit now, but yeah, I think when the pressure's on though, still, you know you can rely on him. Like he's Mr. Reliable.
100%. It's just one of those things when he can get going, it feels like all the right things happen for Atlanta FaZe because his kills are so impactful on the map.
And I think he's been good about it, but you know, anytime we talk about someone that could be a vocal leader, it's always, I don't care who you are, it's human nature. It's easier to do good things when you're playing well individually. It just is, I feel like. It just, to be positive, like, to get behind the guys.
Again, I just think he's the one making sure they don't make mistakes. Yeah. And you know, you're looking at the mini map, you're looking at what your players are doing, where can I go, where do I have to be on the map? So we're set up for next. And a lot of the times you're not focusing on the simple things in COD, the fundamentals, which is, well, shooting.
Well, it's always, you need to have some players that are a little, I don't want to say like red dot chasing, but some that are not as minimap focused, as communication focused, that are just going into focus and fry. Like you are just going to find kill after kill. You're playing with out of bandit with a pace that is tough to match. Yes, you'll have that, but yeah, no, the Alex of the world, just so crucial for this team. But now on the other end of it, it's like Zero is that important to this team, and sort of some of the things we're talking about, Alec. When you talk about the youth on the Royal Ravens, you win map 1 against OpTic, and then you know the wheels kind of come off, right? It gets crazy. The venue gets all fired up. You weren't able to silence them for long. And no, you're not going up against that same thing here, but still, Zero's got to lead. He's got to. Yeah,
100%. There you can see the S&D top performers for both of these squads. Simp on one side, we've seen what he can do. On the other side, it's been Nasty, and Nasty, the first couple of times we watched him, he was having a heck of a series. He's really had a great event for this team. You know, there was so many eyes on Gismo and Afro where Nasty's really stepped up, and you can see the bottom one, that first blood win percentage. He's winning it 3 out of 4 times. That just gives you such an advantage in this.
British Scump is disgusting.
It's Nasty.
Desert Siege now. What's interesting to you about this map?
What's interesting to me about this?
Well,
there's
for this matchup.
Oh, for this matchup, yeah. I mean, again,
yeah, I really like the sand and like.
I like the sand. I like the middle building, the top window, the balcony, the outside window, and the bottom doors.
Yes.
I missed the back window.
Pal's just like, where are they going to come from?
What was that?
Yeah, no, I was doing some weird stuff with my arms. I'm very, very flexible, Joe. I was told at a young age that I could have been a gymnast.
I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah.
No, there's not many 6'5" gymnasts.
No, not too many. But it's snipe out now for Zero, and yeah, they're going to be challenging this snipe. You're just going to be getting peppered by bullets.
Yeah, you better hit your first bullet, because he just doesn't care. Like, he's going to challenge this all day. He will continue to fight that. Find the glitch. Boom, there we go. Yep. You got a sniper. I really don't. I don't care.
I have a sniper too. My name is Cellium, and as he said on the main stage, this map was made for me. I've got my nerd spots. Now, 2 versus 1 though is Gismo, able to get out with 72 HP. Bomb down, you see just outside the B site, and Gismo set up for his next battle, and maybe what could be an enormous clutch to get this crowd going for the Ravens side. But just kind of taking his time, maybe make FaZe a little bit antsy, see if you can catch one. Okay, does not happen. Does not happen, still posted up, and it is just beams.
I think we all might need to ask him what his monitor settings are, because I don't know how he sees the things he does on this camera.
Yeah, here sometimes it's tough, right? Like, it can be.
We literally have X-ray, and I'm just like, what do you see?
Look at him, dude. He is focused. I want his hair so bad.
You want his hair?
Yeah, I'd look awesome, dude. Someone did a picture one time. I look badass.
Did someone do that again? Can we
No,
Photoshop
no, I'm kidding.
his hair?
It was horrible. It looked like a monster from like some Friday the 13th movie or something. No, it wasn't good. To round 2. They come across and nearly maybe a second, but can't quite get the shots in. And Nasty, you're going to have to move.
Cell. I mean, he hits the nade. He goes for the chow right away as he tries to back on up. I mean, the aggression comes in from London. And Cell is just not afraid to take gunfights. The sniper gets picked in the back. Get it a pistol.
Dude. All right. He just looks like, even when he's reloading there, he's shouldered about 42 times. Like, this guy's a menace. And I mentioned to him in an interview, but you've said this many times to me. I don't think on broadcast much, just to me. Like, you really like Cell as a player because he just, I don't know, the passion he plays with, like no free kills, like how hard of a kill he is. But you've said, like, if you were to play against him, you would hate his soul.
Yeah, no, I mean, he is literally, I mean, yeah, like, why would you want to play against that? Like, nobody would.
Yep.
I'll be doing the same thing in the pro player chat, whatever he's using, get it out. Right? That guy is just different.
Can we GA Cell? After the much needed first blood, and just put it away. I'm telling you, put it away.
Did you see Zero's face? Yeah. He's like, I don't know, bro. I really have no idea.
It's just all headshots with the auto, and he's gone. They're going to keep challenging it over and over again. You got to hit that first shot if you even have a chance. But now you have numbers. If you're Royal Ravens, Zero, the only one knocked out of it. The position itself, giving up, trying to deal with multiple players, but pushing through on the other side of it will be aBeZy. They get this now down to a 2 versus 2. Afro for the opening, there to combine with Nasty. Player left is Cell. He's been able to get out. I thought Afro was going to get eyes on him top, but he's able to wrap out of this.
Yeah, I mean, he was looking for him, right? He's still trying to challenge him. I like that from the London Royal Ravens, just immediately isolating aBeZy, who pushes through towards that flank. But 20 seconds left. He's on 5 in a row. He's just going to play for these streaks, just try to stay alive, work towards that glide bomb.
Yeah, if you're wondering why he was kind of backing out of this with so little time on it, it's a heads-up play. Just see if you can get that glide. With 5 left, they're going to leave him. No, Hunt is in, and boom. You get a much-needed round if you're Royal Ravens, but if you are Cell, you've got a chance to get this glide. And now I'm curious, though, if you're Zero and you saw his face.
Let's start with him.
You got to put it away, right?
Let's see what he...
You've just been laced twice.
See what he does?
Like, just obliterated. It's like you got sniped yourself. You know when you just die so fast, it's straight headshots. You're just like, I just got sniped. Oh, no.
No, he literally had the facial reaction of like, I don't know what I can do. Yeah. Like, there's literally nothing I can do.
And we'll see if he puts it away or keeps it out.
But stays away from him on that side of the map.
Could be the case. Okay, it doesn't matter who it is. It is just headshots. aBeZy now. With the opener, the nades headed over towards Zero. That one's going to hit. And he gets hit down to like 33 health, something in that ballpark. And you get another one for yourself. Now just one off the glide. Tags all over the place, but Nasty for now will be the last one up. And if you got a 3v1 here, it's like, can you set Cell up? Or sorry, 4v1. Can you set Cell up to get this one? He's going to be off the map, so not going to matter. 3-1 now to FaZe. Clinical. And the first bloods are just, I don't want to say too easy, because I mean, it's long range shots, but they're getting them very clean, right? It's not like some messy first blood that's traded quickly and the chaos ensues. You haven't seen a lot of fights in Palace, right? Like they're not getting into Palace and having that madness. Like they're just
letting
range, picking them off.
work the outside of the map.
Yeah.
Those outskirts. If there's going to be a sniper, I'm going to try to take that first blood.
Say Zero still has the snipe, but yeah, maybe to a different side of the.
Well, yeah, that's what I say. Okay, so what's the play call? Let's just stay away from him. Let's go towards the A bomb. I mean, normally one player doesn't have that impact unless they do have the sniper, but it's going to be turned into a 3v3 as Arcitys able to find Gismo on the flank. But 40 seconds left. You have Simp trying to find that info outside of Palace.
Now Cell's worked his way over, but you're still hoping to get that glide, I believe. Still just one off, but to the 3v3 we go. Arcitys opens it up, gives the advantage. 20 seconds now left on the clock. Pushing through is going to be that number 8. It's going to be Afro. Trying to get in behind, not going to happen. That's one to Cell. That's going to be the glide.
You got to kill, though. They have to hop to defuse. They have to hop to defuse.
Got to get on it.
He's able to find it.
Out.
There we go.
Simp with the cover. The teamwork too strong for FaZe. Up 4-1. A glide in Cell's back pocket. Is FaZe just handling the Royal Ravens right now?
I mean, that's really it. They're just taking care of business as they started. But I think that map number 1 was just so important for London just because, you know, you come off that loss, just try to get some momentum going, and we saw what FaZe just did to their EU brothers.
And that's, I mean, there you're talking about a good search team, right? But FaZe just, that's what's been scary the past couple of years. It's good in every mode, right? It's sometimes the best search team in the game. Maybe not at that point right now with the way OpTic have been playing, but we might get some more of that with a potential 4 searches in a best-of-9 final if that's what it ends up being. Cell, though, 7-0. Just putting up absurd numbers.
He's going to make a phone call.
Hello, sir. I'd require my bomb now. Can you blow someone to smithereens? Yes, we've got Nasty. It was now in pieces across the map. 8-0. Bomb planted, looking for the 5th round. Arcitys in. Simp dialing it in. Cellium, no free ones. He's going to stay up and back down. The 0 now left by his lonesome. Able to get 1, but instantly the shot's in for the trade. Still clinical.
And that's just the first blood with the glide. We're going to work towards the bomb. Arcitys is going to plant immediately because, well, that bomb's coming in. It's all the information, is giving them the callouts. And then even after that, Afro is trying to make it into a 3 versus 3 to find Arcitys on the bomb, but he gets gunned as Arcitys wins that 1v1. Round falls apart for London.
Now we'll see if they can mount some sort of wild comeback here, or if FaZe are just too strong, and if Cellium is invincible. But this is like kind of what I want. This is kind of what I wanted. If you're Royal Ravens, you can get these fights.
Hit the door.
Afro, back and forth we go. aBeZy with 2.
Knife.
Afro with 2. Knife almost to the face, but Gismo able to get away. And now we test the 2 power and prowess of Cellium as he's 8-0. Wins this, maybe 10-0, and that's map. As he will try to clutch up in the 1 versus 2. Bomb getting planted today. As Cell will go to work up against 0 and Gismo. Now he's taking the deep route all the way around. Can he get a freebie?
He should be.
He's gone the whole way around, taking his time.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, maybe less freebie and maybe a little tickle to the back of the ankles. And he is going to drop Cell. Finally falls, and maybe just a little antsy there. Like, didn't need a little more trigger discipline to make sure you set up the first that's free.
Well, you can immediately see as soon as he shot, he was just, you know, trying to find where that second player was, right? Where are they playing back-to-back, making sure he was ready for that next gunfight. But, yeah, just kind of stopped shooting. The shots were a little bit messy.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what it actually looks like with X-ray sometimes, like how it actually looks for him, how much you can actually see of the player. But 1 by 1, you try to bring it back if you're Royal Ravens. Got to muster up something here. It's not an easy fight, but you got to make it a fight first. As everything just kind of comes to a halt, and you've got the 2 working inside, Afro and Gismo. They want this to be more of a mid-map fight and, you know, less about the outskirts where they've been getting dominated, and they get Palace control. Afro able to peek out, find a pick, and that's a massive first blood. That's what you haven't had much of.
Yeah, the problem is on defense, it's hard to force kind of that middle presence, right? Because what do? All right, this is 2 players inside of Palace. We're going to go to B. We're going to plant the bomb. We're going to allow Cell to work those trenches. Well, Simp, he's going to get away with his life. Now it's his turn to try to make a play. He's going to backhound down. Here comes the retake. Simp able to find one. He always finds those openings. It feels like Afro going to shut it down, but we're into a 2v2. Now a 1v2 for aBeZy.
20 to go. Afro's on halfway there. There's the first. He hops off it. He's getting tagged up. Little hop, little chow, but what around there out of Afro. 3 in a row in the defuse. We keep it going. Ravens fighting back, and Afro started it. Afro finished it.
Yeah, Arcitys, I mean, you know, he gets first blooded. He's trying to work the inner side of A towards those inner tracks. But he ends up getting caught by the players up top. Still, a hell of an attempt from Atlanta FaZe, hitting that bomb down in that 3 versus 4.
He's serious.
It's a serious situation.
It is. Well, yeah, of course it is. But like at that angle, he's like, he's a bad boy.
I mean, Afro and Cap have like the 2 of the best player cams in the CDL, dude.
We'll see what Afro can do behind those 3 in a row. Because now you try to dictate the pace and bring it to him.
Let's run it.
On this offense, but Simp is here, ready and lurking. Where's he going to be posted up? It's 0. It was a struggle early, but this time, it's the auto in hand that finds the first blood as they're starting to trickle in now for Ravens.
Just staying away from Cell. We're just going to stay away from him.
I mean, look at the map.
It's been working that way.
You put a line on there, a 50-yard line. It's literally just Cell.
Just getting away from him. Gismo, he does find the timing inside of Palace. Simp, though, able to connect with the nade. 2 versus 3 on this retake for Atlanta FaZe, just trying to put this map away. RC's going to get aggressive again inside of Palace, gets caught. Oh!
Cell able to get 1, but still so much to do with so little time to work with.
Got a lot to do. Afro has the cross as well.
I just don't see how you do it with this amount of time, with like where they're set up. It's not like they're going to line up unless he has something absolutely nuts, but he's going to have a crazy read here. On the flank coming in, not going to matter. They get the kill. Now 3 in a row. Ravens rolling. Yeah. Yeah. You know, Jack Courage, he was a high school mascot. He was a bird or something. That's what I picture. For the Queen chant, I love it. I'm fired up. Yes. They're doing it bit by bit, and you know, FaZe no stranger to letting stuff slip away. It happened yesterday, and I know it's different to get reverse swept than it is to, you know, kind of similar thing happen in a search and destroy, but the pressure starts to build as it gets closer and closer. You're up 5-1, suddenly they're within a round. Well, and the Ravens get it to a round 11.
This is a key round because on offense, London, they can go towards the middle palace. This is going to be another quick plan. Nasty, I don't know if he saw it. He did see it. They're going to try and nade him. They're looking over Arcitys. He does get the bomb down. Now can Arcitys play his life somehow? Some way. He's alive, but look at that. Cellium gets taken down. Arcitys, it's down to Simp and aBeZy in a 2v3.
Gets to the heady, and Afro wins another one. Simp now by himself. They're on it. He sees Nasty, I think, out to the left. Maybe spot him, but he knows he's got to go. He's there. He's holding Afro. He does it now 4 in a row. Round 11 time and a wake-up call. Really for both sides.
Yeah, and the fans, because, I mean, FaZe was literally giving them a lullaby.
Yeah, choking them out. All the momentum. Now behind Ravens. And this colossal round 11. I mean, this round alone is probably going to decide whether this is a series or not.
I'm thinking they're going A. Or mid, right? Let's just get away from number 1.
But look at this. There's 3 inside of Palace. We haven't seen this before out of FaZe, but they like go in. They don't see anything. They Hello, are you going to put it inside of him? Oh, he pegs him with it. aBeZy takes a frag to the shins and a shot to drop him, but Afro, he's now on 6 in a row. The man can do no wrong. That was so nerve-wracking when he was
like playing dodgeball, dude.
Yeah.
Typically we have Semtex, you just put it away, you use your weapon, but yeah, nothing you can do there.
Arcitys, he's ripped down to 57, but still up 40 on the clock. As he tries to reposition, you still got to work this bomb plant. And that number 4 in Simp that is looming, it's really what kind of fight is he going to find? What kind of timing? They're able to get the wall bank through. Arcitys going to drop. Things may be falling apart. Simp can't finish the kill, and now he's got to reposition. 20 seconds to go. Bomb, though, still has not been planted. That's going to be bombed down with 20 seconds to go. Through, though, on the flank is going to be Gismo. It's all going to be on Cell. They're pushing through. They're finding the kills. It's 5 in a row and a search win for the Royal Ravens. Ka-ka! Oh, baby!
I love it. Props for the creativity, honestly.
I'm with it. I am with it. And that,
Anything to get them going.
that route, but I think you were right. Like, FaZe were just like choking them out, singing a lullaby, whatever. They were putting them to sleep. You know, we know.
They might have put themselves to sleep, too.
The crowd has not been with FaZe, obviously. You know, they've been getting booed every time they're on stage. It is a Ravens crowd. They needed something to cheer about. So that is why that round was everything. Because I think you lose that search, it's a 3-0. I really think it is. But now, maybe we got ourselves a series, because that is going to rejuvenate the crowd, rejuvenate this Royal Ravens team. They got something to work with, and whoo! You do it on the back of 5 in a row. That gives you some. I think it's big too because you have so many young players, right? Like the
100%.
belief system to do that.
I was going to say, dude, they're going to have to find like Bugs Bunny or something if they go down 0-2 to find Michael's secret stuff. You know what I mean? Like the blue water bottle. You put the. Dude.
Come on and jam.
I don't know if we can do that, dude. We can get in trouble.
Oh, DMC. We're going to go to break. See you.
I gotta keep these jobs.
We're still. I think we're still here. Quick commercial break before we get in trouble.
Thanks.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Woo! Let's go, Texas!
This place is alive now.
Yeah! Got a little shot. An injection into the crowd after that comeback from Royal Ravens. 5 in a row for the Queen. The Ravens.
Nice.
I don't know much about Ravens.
I don't either, honestly.
I'm not a what's a birdologist?
A what?
A birdologist? What's a bird expert?
Yeah, birdologist, that's right. Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds right. You put ologist on the end of whatever you want.
Been talking to Sim way too much.
Yes, we're going to take a look at control stats as we get ready for the map 3, all tied up 1-1, and see where these teams are headed. Cell versus Zero.
Yeah, I mean, you know, both going to have the AR in their hands. Zero. Talked about him being the veteran, what he can do. Cell on the other side. Honestly, they figured it out. Desert Siege, just
go to the other side of the map, call out Cell, and just go the other way right now?
away from him, yeah. I like it.
I mean, you kind of sold like the shift, and granted, when you're trying to play around Palace, you can find more angles and stuff from there, obviously, but they played to their strengths, I think, and tried to eliminate what FaZe was doing. I mean, that's
I don't know if they played to their strengths, but they played to get away from
okay. Maybe played away, yeah.
They were down 5-1, and someone just looked at someone and was like, screw it, we're going mid. Like, they just opened the door.
Well, that's why I thought they'd find success to begin with. I mean, that makes the most sense to me with how they like to play, and they do it. Afro, way to step it up, man. What a finish that search and destroy he had as he elevated the play of his squad to get them to this control. FaZe, Ravens, tied up 1-1, control time, nades out, who's getting blown to pieces? It might be Arcitys, it is Arcitys, ba-bang!
Well, Afro with a big one, he's gonna follow it up. Get them off of that point, but what does FaZe love to do? You know, Simp finds those routes, they like to work towards B. Immediately Cellium pushing through towards P5. And the key here is when you push through P5 like Cell just did, you have two options. Either go to B, you can work top radio, and you can help your team through, you know, towards church.
Or bring two people over?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, they're gonna have to nade him. He's gonna pause the clock. Now he's relying on his teammates to make plays on the other side of the map. They are not making plays. Oh, what the?
He's like a gazelle or some sort of very fast creature. Gismo, though, has got the position. There's the shots into the back. 45 seconds to go. You've got no progress if you are FaZe. It's been lights out so far from Ravens. You got a 4-life advantage as well. Just try to continue to choke them out. Don't give them any forward position, but Simp trying to find openers now. That's going to be 2 now on to B, but look at the push through on the top side. You kind of win one 2v2, you lose the other. Number 5 and Zero working the entire way around the deep route.
Yeah, well, they gotta go. They gotta go. aBeZy does get taken down. He does have help, though. His teammates are here. They're gonna be done with his B point soon. Need Zero to try to make a play. The contest is in, though. The contest is there. Simp, no! Oh! More from Simp!
Oh my God, and what that snap might have done for this round as he keeps ripping and roaring. 8 in a row before Simp drops. You get the tough point, and suddenly the minute and 15 of an excellent hold you have from Ravens might all just slip away.
You know, if you're watching or you're a pro player, sometimes it feels like Atlanta FaZe, they rely on, you know, sometimes individual plays.
Flipping the switch?
Yeah, you know, well, individual plays from players like Simp or Cell. But it works because they're that good. You know, you can't always rely on it. But man, when it comes through, it comes through at a great time. 9-12 though, still an advantage for London.
And he wants to use it early. He's going to use the streak to try to get them forward. Okay, well, it didn't even have to hit because the native Zero that actually does it. He'll take out Nasty. Looking for the cross, able to get another, gets away with his life as well. Doesn't have to reach out as his teammate there to pick up the second. 50 seconds on the clock, only 5 lives left. And if you're Ravens, you might get away with one because you had it locked down. You had the round 1 and then, well, Simp danced like a ballerina all over your skulls.
Well, I mean, just that play right there though from Zero, just so important to stop them from getting on A.
They're not out of the woods yet, though.
Yeah, Atlanta FaZe, they spawn up and say, hey, we have 50 seconds left. Let's slow this down. We're going to take some long routes through the lower part of the map.
What did Miles say? The night is dark and full of tiny tears. Well, here they come. aBeZy with the opener. 1 life advantage to Royal Ravens and 20 seconds on the clock. Cellium able to win his fight deep. Gismo really gonna be the last player here in position to try and make a play. They've got onto it, they've stopped the clock. Trying to snap back, not gonna happen. aBeZy able to lock down 2. Now near the second point of progress. The life advantage flipped on its head. Advantage to FaZe, and what a round it would be if they can win it as they line it up and close it out in a ludicrous offensive win.
You were just hoping you had an 8 hit, right? Make it a 3 versus 3. Can make that retake happen, but it's an individual play from Simp over towards B.
Dude, it was done.
He was just dancing around the statue.
It was done. Yeah, I said ballerina on his tiptoes. Just, you ever seen Black Swan? Like, I don't know, with Natalie Portman?
I didn't see it.
That movie was freaky as hell. Don't see it. Okay.
But I know what a ballerina is, yes.
Okay, well, I guess people can't see that I was actually trying to be a ballerina. Probably good for a broadcast. That wasn't a thing because I might have twisted my ankle. Ooh. Gismo. The head clean off and continues to lock down top Røkkr with some great shots. That's it, sort of maybe you lose a little aim assist, just the shaker kicks in, but you get the kill.
Well, one key kill though was nasty, right? He falls off towards Ruin's side. Ends up taking himself off the map. A probably would have been done if he was still alive. Now Atlanta FaZe, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna go for this, not gonna go for it, but they're gonna try to trap them in here and get all of these kills when they're done with that point.
Well,
and that's big, right? So now they have the life advantage. You have RCs all the way down low towards the rooftop side.
I think they've showed they're confident that it doesn't matter how long you have to capture B, we really can hold it.
Yeah, for right now, the ticks don't matter.
Yeah, and typically, a lot of times they've been successful from that position, but now Cell. He's got 4 straight and 9 and 5. Look at that number 2 though, in RC's, he is all the way deep.
Well, that's all the info.
Yeah,
right?
one player in your spawn, one player in their spawn. Like
that's all the info that they need. You have Cellium who can help towards church side. aBeZy, he is just gonna get, well, that's gonna be a tough one. The fact he's alive and gets 1, say he was getting triple teamed. I did not think he was gonna find the kill. But now you have a 2-2 split for the London Royal Ravens. What do they want to do? You have RCs and Simp so far up the map. They're not even really defending B. They're just kind of roaming around, Cell up to 5.
Yeah, it's like they're defending mid-map, like to make sure they kind of dictate where the push is going to come from onto B, and then they collapse. And what a collapse it was. They bring it back, now still holding deep. Or this time holding deep, it'll be Arcitys in the spawn side. They still got to fight around P5. They Cell. That streak has continued through this entire time, now up to 6.
Back's on up, now you have another split push coming in. 0, Gismo on one side. Towards P5, the trade's gonna go the way. Now you have the glide bomb. Just Gismo gonna be by himself, but he gets taken down as well.
It's the lives, man. Like.
And you know, I don't want to put it on one individual. It's very much a team game, but from what we've seen from Gismo, 7 and 16 in this map 3, he was so crucial for this squad to get him into this position. You need him here in a match like this.
Oh, well, the fact is, like, against this type of team, you just, you can't really have maps like that. You're going to lose. They're too good. They're too efficient. And now, nearly a round closer from taking this map 3.
Afro opens that up, though, so there is still a chance they can jump on a B. Simp, though, I think he's going to try to work towards fire. He wants to flank you through radio if he can, but they just stop, and there we go.
Is that just the lives are already outrageous? Let's not let it go anymore. But I guess I feel like you're already down 11. You're already going to go down to.
I'm going.
Take a shot.
Yeah, I'd go, but they're more disciplined than me.
Yeah. I mean, the circumstances are a little bit different. I get it, but it's just sort of like hell. Hail Mary. Like. One more round now for FaZe. They've done a good job for the most part. Just trying to, well, taking the crowd out of it again. They're really fired up after the map too. They've slowed it down, and Cell is 13 and 6 with the streaks here to work with, but a nice little double chow.
Yeah, but look at this face push. They 3 go through P5. And I mean, Gismo's walking across. He only sees 1 cross. And you have 2 players on. It's already 1 tick down. They are able to wrap back. RC's though, he's finding kills.
I'd love to be able to get a second, but they do pick them apart, and now off spawn, you get right back to A. The one guy here is really going to be Gismo, who's trying to turn it around. 7 and 18 now, and the pain will continue. aBeZy is going to have his number, the tiny tears. Line them up, soak it up. This is likely going to be A, and you still got Arcitys over here just winning one-on-ones, just trying to be a pain. Just make sure you alleviate much pressure from A. With 2 spawning top sides, like they might sin more at this, try to get him off it. He hasn't quite been able to finish it yet. Maybe try to draw out the time.
I think they were thinking about going, or at least trapping them. You do have Gismo there in a great spot, but Cell able to get some shots in, finds the rest of that kill, just the shoulders from Cell to be able to finesse around this position. And this is what we talk about when we say he is a difficult kill, because he just buys time for his teammates. Now in spawn is Simp. It's gonna be 3 dead. aBeZy kind of knows that if he just stays alive here, he's gotta wait for his teammates off of spawn.
Zero gets pushed up and delays the push for a moment. They get the kills around the objective as well. But you've got 90 seconds to work with. Maybe you try to bleed him out here a little bit, get the lives advantage, but your FaZe, I guess not a ton of pressure to close it out here, considering you've got a defense upcoming.
Yeah, but you know they want to. They want to make a statement. They're going to try and go for this. They know the setup. Okay, they have the glide bomb. There's the investment. The call-outs are in. aBeZy and Simp. They're going to find 2. That's a 3 dead, and now you can stack this. You don't get a lot of opportunities to do so. Zero with 1 big kill, though. We'll slow this down a bit off of spawn. The nades have to be on point. Quickly through Church's Afro, but aBeZy is there. Now a pinch from up top is nasty, and I think that 1 kill from Zero will stop it. If there's 1 more player there, okay, there is 1 more there. But Afro,
It's so close.
gonna cut it down. Yeah, if that 4 player is alive, that's a cap.
Well, you were right. I wasn't sure if they were going to try to make the statement, but as soon as he called the streak, I'm like, yeah, that looks to be the play call. And they funneled 2 into Simp, got them out of their spots. I mean, it was perfect. It's just, yeah, that 1 kill, it just slows that meter down, right? But you still have 45 seconds to work with.
Yeah, you have a life advantage as well. Afro, though, with the pick.
Yeah, nice little peek in the window there.
You can see that just kind of slows things down, right? They want to line up nades, and then they're going to get aggressive off of it as Afro 4 in a row. Beautiful. And when this man gets streaking, he can be hard to stop, but the other side, there is aBeZy.
It's like if you're going to bring this down to the lives, you're likely going to have to at least pause this clock at some point. Now, how do you plan this attack? It looks like it's going to be a 2-2 split. You've got a couple TJHaly. There's a couple trying to burst through the front. It's aBeZy with the gunny. The Chal is through. The trade is in. Cellium just still kind of sitting back and holding. Maybe waiting on his teammates to make the play, but it's not going to happen on the other side of it. Arcitys will be the last person there. He'll be dropped. You don't have the time to get there. And Ravens, I know it's different than the search, but
hey,
survive.
5 rounds in a row, maybe 3 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. You get around. You start to believe. But now it's like, I mean, you have to win an offense. And just due to how lopsided what the round 2 was, you're in a big hole from a live standpoint.
Yeah, there's rumors going around. If this happens in back-to-back maps, they may all be knighted when they go home.
Night Zero. Or Night Trey. That's got a good ring to it.
No, it's like Sir.
Oh, sir. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He doesn't start with Night. What am I saying, dude? I'm watching Merlin right now, too. I should know that. I should be a Night expert. A Nightologist, some would say. I'm an idiot. All right. Round 4. Okay. They're all just flying, soaring. And Simp meets his maker in the form of nearly the entire Ravens lineup, but it's got to be back-to-back offenses and nasty. He's pushing out while the rest of his teammates look to get on the point, just trying to be the Reaper in and around Church, and he is just dancing with his life. You see that number 6 just finessing as best he can, but FaZe will finally get him out of it. And how clean and efficiently can you get this a point? I mean, not much time has gone off the clock.
Well, and you can see right
Feeling
where
all right
Arcity's kind of lurking. They're going to head towards B. One player's going to get on that. It looks like Cell and Simp, you know, they're just going to let that go, but they have to deal with that. That's a one-on-one on that zone. Nasty is here, and they're going to win this. They can have 2 players on B. A lot of momentum for London. Zelda takes him down middle of the map. Oh, I would have loved it. At least maybe you get 2 on it. Maybe you get 2 ticks.
Yeah, if Cell doesn't kill 2 there, Cell drops. I mean, that might be a very different conversation. But Zero just trying to do what he can. Nasty lighting up the kill feed, but
still alive.
They're still here on the point. They keep on doing it. The comeback kids trying to get this done, but there's those nades off the spawn, everything just exploding. But you've gotten 2 parts of progress. Now, though, this is where it's going to reset for them. But look, due to the nature of how that played out, you still have 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, a lot of time.
Right, like, it doesn't feel like there should be 2 minutes, but there's 2 minutes left.
Well, they were just on the point.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But it's really the lives. I mean, you had the life advantage if you are FaZe. You just can't really, give them a 3-4 dead where they can jump on the point. You have to slow things down. There we go, 3 dead. There we go, they are just jumping. They're jumping on the point. You have 2 on it. It's up to Simp. We know what he can do, but him and aBeZy shut it down.
I think some nades hit to soften them up, and they just slice through them like a pizza pie.
Yeah, like the clap started. It was like 1, 2, and just stopped. Like,
Yeah, no, that just happened. They just eliminated
So
them.
fast.
It was like just a hit squad. Like a SWAT team just came in and ripped them off the point. The bells are a-tolling. And Ravens desperately trying to get this to a 5th and final round, but peekaboo, it is your Reaper as aBeZy finds the angle and sends this back again. He gets a 3rd as well, just sucking the life out of this Ravens team as they're trying so desperately to get this to another round.
And well, sometimes you just push forward in Vanguard, you catch that, right? The teammates trying to come on through.
This is it.
Here we go, here comes this push. Trying to do what they can. Cellium, so difficult to take down.
Here we go, here we go.
Dropped an Aton. Able to find one.
Guy thought he was Batman.
He's got to get on the point, though. They have to stop this. The trades! Cell and Arcitys!
Yeah, you got it.
It was close.
You got a 2v3 there, and you're just able to get it done.
One more push.
What a dance it was, but yeah, you got 4 lives. And this is absolutely it. Can they get that first one? Can they get the first one clean? Cell hit down to like half HP, but now they're gonna fly.
They're gonna jump on it.
Nero, here we go. Trying to get on it. 8.9 to go. There's gonna be 2 players
Someone's
left.
gotta contest.
Nero and Gismo. Someone's gotta get in there. Wait!
Oh!
He doesn't get in time! He doesn't contest in time! Ravens! In what was a 4v9 on the push, they finish it! Aha!
Well, and sometimes, I mean, with the amount of months that these guys have played this game, they're just not used to that, right? You just jump on the point and the time is on your side offensively. And I think in a 9 versus 4, if I'm Atlanta FaZe, I think you play that a little bit more aggressive because you have the life advantage, right? You can trade on out. But let's see what happens. Are we into a round 5? The start, though, goes the way of FaZe.
Yeah, I mean, you get 1 behind Nasty, but everything else from FaZe, so it's an early 3 life advantage. The B push does not work. They're gonna get this right back over to A, but you still have Cellium and aBeZy looking for angles. That's a nice pickup there from Zero. Now Simp's turn to contest. They shut that down as well. You got to get back-to-back offenses here. And maybe this is a moment for Gismo to be a hero. You know, maybe not the best map to start, but can he finish strong with the rest of the squad? As A just about to complete, you'll be sitting at 2 minutes.
Okay, they're going to get into this setup now. Lives tied up, 2 minutes. Round 5.
All right, all right. You just got to pick your spots. Find these openings. There's one. Afro leaks in from behind. Now all the heads turning. Those red arrows spinning in circles, trying to find the opening. He just hops over the
wow,
wall, gets
aBeZy
away.
got a kill
aBeZy
there.
just like, I am out. The fact that he gets 1. As they're all hunting him, just insane. The challenge is in. Unfortunately, it's Simp on the other end of it. And Zero will be pinched and flushed out as well. Now you got a minute 14. You're about even in lives, but you got to regroup.
Yep, they're slowing it down here. You do have Arcitys who's kind of lurked on up, but Afro reads that. A lot more players to deal with, but Gismo, this is what he was waiting for. He's able to lurk in the top church. That is a stun, an 8. He's just trying to get away from it. Well, we've seen this defensive setup how many times? The attacking team gets in a position. They're going to try to find an opening with a grenade. Here they come.
Looks like 2, you know, 2 players kind of worried about the push or maybe the long route, but they're just going to go for the uppercut right up the gut. His Cell's hip fire good enough. Trying to lock onto a second one, but it's Afro now with 3 in the feed. Afro, oh God, just nearly wiping out the entire squad, but it's 11-11 in lives, 35 to go. And Simp just in church, just being so annoying.
25 seconds, those two players are gonna have to work across the map, deal with aBeZy, so you're really relying on Zero and Afro here to make a play. The two players who are pushed on forward. 15 seconds left, Nasty able to find the first. That's gonna open things up. Here comes the push for London.
So little time to work with. One pick gonna be through on the cross. Nasty, Gismo flooding on forward. They're trying to kill us. Their kill. Gizmo's going massive. There's all the kills. The only one up is going to be Arcitys. And on to the point they go. Two-man advantage. Will the nades ring true? Now for FaZe, aBeZy is able to hit. What else do you have in the back pocket? As he's getting it done with the MP40 as well. That's 3 now here for aBeZy, and they clean them out. No time for another push, and FaZe survive. A near miracle comeback again for Royal Ravens.
It was
almost, man. You love nothing more than a good comeback story, and they are so close to ripping off the back-to-back offenses, but I know it's the full unit, but whoever combines the nade with aBeZy to get the first, and then he gets in and just wreaks havoc on that front line of Royal Ravens. And Gismo, you know, after the slow start, he really starts to bring it back. He had a big double, I thought, at the end there, but just not quite enough. Whew. And aBeZy's put out, he was nearly 1,000 damage per round. Just look at him compared to the rest of the lobby. He was all over the place.
Yeah, him and Simp both with 36, a similar scoreline, Cell 29 and 18. We highlighted his, you know, control play coming into this one. Has another big game for Atlanta FaZe, but it's a little scary. I mean, listen, I think if you're in the back talking to London, you know, on comms with the coach, they just got to play with his confidence earlier in these maps, because like they're making adjustments. And it's like they're figuring out, all right, we can play with these guys, we can play with these guys, but it's just these slow starts that are plaguing them.
I guess, how are you feeling if you're FaZe right now, considering?
Probably not too happy.
Yeah, like, I guess what would you want if you're getting ready to go up against OpTic again? Like, you get the first clean 3-0, maybe
I think
hoping it's
be
a little
thinking
clean,
about that.
hoping it's clean here too, and you just keep moving on. And now, I don't know, maybe after the map 1, you're thinking blowout, or you're up 5-1 in the search, you're thinking blowout. You're up 2-0 in control, you're thinking blowout. It's just,
they gotta focus on up.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like they're just getting reality check when they feel like they've gotten away with one. You think, you know, you've learned that lesson maybe from the OpTic experience.
Yeah, but aBeZy just time and time again over towards this plat side in P5, just multi-kill after multi-kill. He is snapping. And when it wasn't him, it was his duo and Simp, both dropping 36. And there was a chance. I mean, there was a chance right here. Afro's just trying to make a play. But you see in the feed, aBeZy opens things up with 2.
Oh, it's just so tough. I mean, you got to get to that plat, which you're going to have to deal with Arcitys and Cellium putting in shots. And once you get there, you got to deal with Simp and aBeZy, just holding spots and just making plays to make sure you can't get in. And, you know, I mean, props to Ravens that you make that close. I guess props to FaZe that you hold on despite the fact that you felt momentum slipping away. Back-to-back maps, like, you know they could feel that, the pressure amount 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Of course they can. I think this is an interesting one now, too. Kavutu Hardpoint. I still go back to kind of that OpTic series where both teams wanted to play it. I think, well, we know what happened in that one. And then last night,
Scump happened.
You know, Atlanta FaZe, you know, able to take down Los Angeles Thieves. I think in a map they obviously needed. So you're going to see here, did Atlanta FaZe, you know, fix the mistakes they talked about versus OpTic? Is this going to be a map we're going to see if they do go to the final? I think it will be.
The last time we casted Ravens here was probably, what, the Guerrillas series. And we know Guerrillas were a solid hardpoint team coming into the weekend. Maybe not this weekend, but at least for Ravens, what stood out was what has been, you know, their success to this point. Like, it was a couple key breaks. I think about, probably like Radar Tower. I think they got a couple just like clutch breakthroughs where I think Gismo lines up 2 or 3, gets the openers, and they get into the point. It's not that they need to make it messy. I feel like messy sometimes is like this negative word that's saying like, oh, you're not a good hardpoint team, but you make it messy. It's just like you play with a pace that allows, what we mean by that is just you take people out of their comfort zone, out of their setups.
Yeah, I think they played this against Ultra as well. It was like a 250 to 240, a very close hard point.
Well, not much to take away from Ultra's hard point right now, is there, Joe?
No.
No.
I think it's something they have to work on. My expert analysis.
You're an analytical mastermind. Yes,
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's all Eggs. Eggs has been tweeting, and yeah, I love the guy. He's like, the fact they got top 4, you have to think you celebrate that contributing with a hard point. I was like, yeah, absolutely. That's
so.
nuts. If only they got to a grand final. Then he got so many searches. Who knows what they could have done? But it's not about Ultra. It's about FaZe and Ravens, and who's got a final date with OpTic at a best of 9 grand final here at OpTic Major 1. It's Afro with the skates through to get us started. This map number 4.
Well, what do we normally see in this P1? Couple of subs just off the break, then sort of a switch to those 3 autos. aBeZy, this is where he wants to be. The nades coming in, able to dodge him. A nice start here for Atlanta FaZe. Now it's going to be on the #1 break team to get a break on in.
And they're all just kind of flooded for the front. It looks like they kind of line up a bit as Gismo gets the kill on the Simp, but takes down his teammate as well as he's trying to hold that angle. But they're able to get through for a moment. You get the final kill in the 1-on-1, you rack up the time. Everyone else is going to focus on the rotation battle. Really, the first guy there is going to be Simp from FaZe, and then you've got all of the Royal Ravens as Simp kind of... Guys, there's some top ship.
Yeah, three are there. They all rotated, but 42 seconds off of P1, you take that all day. Now you look for London to try to respond. But this is the reason why they just invested more and more, right? Because the rotation over, it's not very far. This is not an easy hold for anyone.
I mean, 1 through 3, it's like you got a quick jog. When we get to 4 and 5, you're hiking across the map, and that's where I think the big moments are going to come that more than likely might decide this one. And look at the flank coming in. That #1 Cell is just trying to get behind and just be annoying. Gets a pick,
Well, Zero
gets out.
Oh, I thought he was going to keep on going. He's going to deal with Zealot, so his teammates have ring control. But he found an opening as well, and you can see what that does. Simp now trying to deal with what he can, but Afro, Zero, take down all 4.
And if you get the rest of this time, I guess considering how the opening hardpoint was, I don't know. I don't know if you're thankful. I guess you're not really thankful to split. I guess you feel good if you're FaZe, considering, you know, once you killed Simp, you really had the presence there for the Ravens.
Yeah, Gismo trying to stay up. So Atlanta FaZe is going to get set up for this 3rd hill. He just wants to make sure he can stay alive here. This is where they can put pressure on, but Simp's just going to hop on up. Hello, Pete.
Dude, that just looked terrifying from his POV. Surprise! The lead continues to build. And as this next rotation starts to loom, I mean, you have got to have a hold if you are Ravens, and that's not necessarily, it's almost like maybe just take another push at it and then try to break, because that's where you've been doing well.
Well, they're just giving them no room. I mean, this is one of the better P3s we have seen all a weekend long, if not the best one. Afro, yeah, trying to maybe contest some of this time. Him and Nasty are to come on through, and you know this works because look at that mini map, right? The red arrow is so far away. You need a response here to get yourself back in the game, and this has to be it.
This has got to be the hard point, right? Like you have got to be clean, clinical, and hold it down if you're Royal. Ravens is Nasty drops, but it's 5 in a row before that, and it's aBeZy getting aggressive on the other side to maybe try and influence spawns or find an opening, but they pick that up, and looming mid-map is still going to be Afro. At least turns heads for a second. It's before the Queen chance gets started. They try to rally behind their team, and so far so good. 20 seconds in, but now's the next big push. You need to lock this down if you are Ravens. You cannot get broken. Bring this back. They're losing people, but they're still inside of the hard point. Afro with the chow out front. No time for FaZe throughout the course this. It has been all Ravens inside. And now it's at the point where you got your 40 seconds. If you flip out, it's not the worst thing. Just don't get locked in the back.
Well, that's what we saw last night, right, from Atlanta FaZe. This sort of P3 to P4. Sorry, P4 to P5. But one player able to get out Nasty. He's all the way behind Green.
He spawned ring. And it's just like, all right, okay, I'll take this route. He almost gets there.
Yeah, I mean, they just had them pinned all the way back in that rock. But some room to work with here. Nasty gonna spawn up again. He's gonna have a free pinch. 3 go down. The last player gonna climb up in the ship. That's Gismo. Trying to do what he can. But his teammates, they all get taken down.
Yeah, but you were down close to 100 points. Oh, well, God, I did not think he was going to finish the kill. But he turns back and does it. And dear, okay, all right.
The best gun in the game.
All right,
That's literally the best. Pistol.
Everybody, just getting kills with the pistol. But what a play it is from Simp. And now you start to erase That great moment from Ravens that brought you back into the game is FaZe answering back with an incredible hold here. And as contest heavy as like some of the hard points can be on this map, like this is kind of now 3 straight that's kind of locked down, right? Like 3, 4, 5 were just sort of handled.
Well, and this next one can be too. We get back to P1. You have a couple of players in Nasty and Afro already on that rotation. The scrap time video, the way of aBeZy is he's just trying to dodge nades, dodge bullets. Well, he died, so he tried.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, to my point, it was really impressive one. That was the crazy one. Now, into our second set of rotations, 60-point advantage here for FaZe. Zero is just trying to do it all. A swarm of players around him. Simp finally able to hunt him down.
Nades.
As Ravens are up against it now, second by second. They feel their tournament dreams and grand finals hopes slipping away. As FaZe might just be too strong right now. God, man, they brought it back to within 20 or 30, but the lead's right back out to where it was.
Well, it's really here. I think they had an opportunity at this P1, but what, you had 3 or 4, I think, with 1 trade? Just had to be better on this rotation. Still not out of it. They've had some crazy comebacks already in this series. They've started off slow, but is it too big of a lead?
It just, yeah, this feels like this weekend, just hard point in this game. There's just not that many crazy 100-point comebacks. Like, we haven't seen that story too often, but that's been the story of this series. The comeback attempts by Ravens. You gotta think they're gonna get one more big surge, and is that going to be enough? But Cellium just ripping him through the boat. As aBeZy tries to lock down the time, but it's actually Simp's grenade that'll clear him out of the objective. Third's got to be better, and look at it for 7. And Gismo, he's gotten around in behind. We'll see how he ends up influencing these spawns. Just don't allow any more time to go to FaZe with 20 seconds left. If you can, they get the time. They might be able to spawn him out. They're going to do just that. So here we go. You get the time here. Can you basically do what FaZe did at third?
Yeah, first up is going to be about that ring control. You're going to have Afro trying to find Arcitys, Gismo looking over him. There's the first player. Can you get Afro inside of here? So strong of a position for the MP40. Oh, the movement on point picks up the auto as well.
4 health, and there they clean him up. And you've got them spawning out deep. What an answer this can be. So what was it? You're down about 80 points when this gets started. What's the advantage when we get through it? But one just slides across, and that bait, you just pull it for a second. The others slide out.
P1.
But it looks like they're stepping up. They're stepping up.
Gismo, I like that. Just back down.
Oh, yeah. Just don't drop inside the point. You're the one getting the time.
Just trying to find an angle as Cell, and then the teammates, London Royal Ravens, going to fly on through. Look at the spawns now. A chance. aBeZy has to back all the way up. Now 20 seconds back-to-back.
Oh, look at the break. Look at the break.
Oh, Afro is in.
Afro just spawned in behind.
It's going to be snaky.
Oh, my God. That one I didn't expect. Okay.
He's like a turtle building the nest.
Sandcastle. Oh, I don't know if that was...
Okay.
Hello, it is me, Afro. I'm here.
He's got his teammates here, though. He's got his friends. We're all here hanging out.
So they brought it, what, within 30? After that great hold.
Hey, Gismo on a big pinch as well. Gizmo's going around. Gismo can make the play. Okay, there's the first Gismo. There's the pinch. 2 go down. This should be a break. This should be.
Oh, God, he's so close.
Oh, Arcitys shuts the door.
It's like Hodor. Hold it down. They're still going to be spawning deep, but now you might just get locked back here.
Oh, man.
There was a chance the door was open. They're hitting it, and just the hand of Arcitys slapping them, putting them down.
This little sequence reminds me of like MW2 Scrapyard. You're just staring at someone, they're just spawning right in front of you.
Oh, my God.
Look at this, Trap. What do you do? There's nothing you could do in this might be game.
You just had your shot, and now you're getting locked.
They're alive. We gotta rotate, though. Ooh.
Oh! I think he knows how big of a play that was.
It's a rematch time, baby. Atlanta, FaZe, lock it down. OpTic versus FaZe. Here we go.
We thought that would be the case. FaZe the better team here today in this matchup, but for Ravens, I'll tell you what, you had some guts over 2, 3, and 4. 2, you bring it back. 3, you almost do, and 4, I mean, I don't know if that's maybe if Afro plays a little bit differently, because even after he took the shots, you still had a chance. Maybe it's an individual moment there from Arcitys, or really it's a team moment from FaZe to hold on. But when I saw Afro spawn there, I was like, okay, all right, well, this is about to get real, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's some takeaways, though, for London, right? A very young team, an environment like this, a major tournament. I mean, top 3. That's a heck of a job. And I think when you look at this for a lot of us, we look at kind of firepower. And I think we know this team has the firepower. You had some off series from, you know, maybe some other guys like Gismo, but I think there is a lot to look forward to if you're a Ravens fan.
I think it's like, you know, you had a couple teams that came in, they were like, are they as good as we think they might be? Are they contenders? I mean, there were some question marks around, let's say, Seattle. They flopped. Ravens were another one that some people maybe had question marks. Like, yes, they look like a top 4 team, but are they the real deal? They proved it, yes.
It kind of gives me like a glimpse of, at times, what we saw from, you know, early Ultra, right? Just very close series with some teams and couldn't put them away, but as they get more experience under their belt, you can see this team in a final.
And how important do you think it is to have those young players who are playing on a stage like this for the first time to make it this far? It's got to be huge.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, they've made mistakes. They're going to feel like they didn't play their best, and they're going to have to work on it.
I'm telling you, there are some young players that have come on the main stage for the first time that have had much worse debuts. That is for sure. With a crowd like this, a venue like this, the pressure like this, a hell of a job. I mean, I have been thoroughly, I know we're just getting back in the swing of things, you and I, but so impressed with Ravens. They are a fun team to watch and commentate. It just feels like they've got that pace, they've got that burst where they're not out of it at any moment. They've got a chance to bring it back, and you really got a good glimpse of that over the course of that losers bracket final, but now it's time.
Well, then on the other side, right, it's like this team that just won't go away. They were in 4 out of the 5 out of the 6 finals last year.
Because someone just beats FaZe, just get him out. You got him to lose.
Like 5, right?
Get him out.
They needed Seattle Surge. They needed Nicky D. He was in the venue, but not on a team.
Nicky D's on that stage. FaZe is going home. They're packing their bags.
Wouldn't have been here today, but they are. They are here, and they do what they do best. They get back to the final.
And this just sets up for an incredible time. Desk, how we doing? What's up, everybody?
I'm scared, man. I'm scared for every team out there that went against FaZe and a team that's about to go against FaZe. But I feel like OpTic's definitely going to bring it. But, yo, Maven, I have to ask you this, man. You've been watching a lot of Call of Duty. You've been covering a lot of games. The streak that you see FaZe putting up right now, how damn scary do they look heading into that finals?
I mean, I think they look terrifying, but it's like, it's expected. I don't even know if they look terrifying. They look like FaZe.
Well, I think versus Ultra, they look terrifying. Right there, I think there was some fundamentals that...
They're vulnerable?
Yeah, they made some mistakes. I think the comms need to be better in this final for sure.
Definitely. And Merc,
yes?
This is it, man. OpTic, they're waiting for this. They've been watching this game this entire time, watching FaZe work their way back up for a rematch. How sweet is it to see both of these teams get back together for the grand finals one last time here?
I mean, listen, if we could have, this is what we've wanted for so long. If there was a matchup we could ask for, it's this one. It is going to be a blast.
Yes, most definitely. Now, thank you guys so much, and goodbye. I'll see you guys in the talent green room right here on the desk. We got Nameless, aLLeY, and also Ton. Nameless, man, FaZe are just looking normal, right? But aBeZy on control was the thing that really caught my eye in that matchup.
Oh,
he broke London's hopes.
I mean, there were multiple times London were in great positions. I mean, think back to the round 1 when they was 9-7. They had control. There was barely any time left in the round. It was a tough spot that, you know, FaZe were in, but aBeZy wins a clutch gunfight onto 0, goes back around mid with Arcitys. They get the second kill onto Afro, break on into the point, and they win that first offense. Like, it's just individual huge plays that we're seeing out of these guys, along with the teamwork, but that's what puts them over the edge, the ability to win those situational gunfights like Arcitys as well. And that hard point gets the big 2-piece. Like, those are the moments that you need when you're this far into a tournament headed into a grand final.
Now, aLLeY, let's talk about the last time these two teams played. I'm talking about OpTic and also FaZe. This crowd was electric. We were going crazy. I had goosebumps. We were yelling. I almost lost my voice. I mean, now it's going to be even bigger.
It's about composure for FaZe now at this point, right? They went up 2-0 and then got reverse swept again from OpTic. It was literally PTSD on the main stage. Now they get their rematch, a best of 9. FaZe, though, a lot of vulnerability. I can't.
Vulnerability.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
Hard, okay?
Oh, my goodness. A lot of that in that series and every series that we've seen them play in. So OpTic, they're definitely in the driver's seat going into this grand final.
You're right. Ton, man, this is it. But now we talked about, you know, FaZe's revenge tour heading over there, but I think all the momentum's on the side of OpTic, man. They're in the grand finals. They're looking good. They haven't lost yet.
I want to kindly disagree. They've
Oh,
just
go
FaZe
ahead.
have just won 3 back-to-back series.
Remember what stadium you're in right now.
No, I know. But if we're talking about momentum, FaZe today have already played 2 series. They haven't necessarily, they didn't smoke Ravens.
It's not, that is not momentum. That series
No,
is
it's
not momentum going up against OpTic. If anything, I would think they're in their heads like, man, like that should not have been as close as it
should-
was.
It was very
small,
close.
but it was small mistakes that did it. It's not necessarily that they played bad. That round in control was a small mistake where they didn't check it. Yes, okay, these things are fundamental, absolutely. Small mistake that did it. We
They're
talk.
shutting you down right now, Ton. OpTic just
welcome
walked
to the
up.
main
They're
stage.
cheering
Let
because
them
OpTic
know
are getting
right
ready.
now.
They're not booing me. Come on.
Ton, make your point, boy.
Right, anyway, so my point is that they made a couple of little mistakes there. Arcitys had to go huge. They got unfortunate with the spawn. They were comfortable throughout. The S&D, they kind of threw that, let's be honest. But as far as momentum goes, they've just beat Thieves. They then beat Ultra. They then beat Ravens. Momentum, wind in their sails.
They both
They've
have
gotta be
great
feeling good.
momentum. I mean,
Yeah.
with
Ellie ain't
OpTic,
having
obviously
it
the
right
crowd
now.
is going to fuel a little bit more, but with FaZe making losers run like that, there's obviously going to be a couple mistakes there, here and about. But, you know, you think about that last map, they were in the driver's seat the entire time. If it wasn't for P3, where they got shut down, they, you know, that map would have just been absolute dominance. But they end up rotating. Arcitys gets the big kills that they need, and they shut down that map. Throughout, though, they were in control.
I kind of see what Ali's saying, though. Let me say this real quick, because I'm going to have to be the one that agrees with you as well on this desk, because if Control went the other way, which it could have, because,
would've been scary.
yo, London, I felt like on that last round, London had it. I feel like they let it go. aBeZy was just aBeZy.
Don't get me wrong. FaZe is obviously always going to be FaZe, right? They're going to be one of the toughest to beat, if not the toughest. But my issue right now is Arcitys, during this major, has been the most consistent player on this roster. It used to be Cellium. What happened? Simp and aBeZy, they've been on and off. aBeZy especially, he has to come out hot against OpTic. They cannot get in their own head in this Grand Final series, especially with how cocky they are.
You're right. Now, Ton, you're talking about who has more momentum. You went on the side of Atlanta FaZe, but let's go ahead and take a look at this clip right here to see what type of momentum is rocking behind the green wall, because when they take that main stage, everybody out there are rooting for him, and Nameless, you just can't doubt him at this point.
Man, we've had some different chants here. We've seen OpTic Texas going off. We saw Scump popping 3 pieces, 4 pieces. I mean, double positive. He's having an insane event. Also, iLLeY, man, another guy that we've been highlighting over the last couple of weeks. You know, he had some big clutches in Search and Destroy when they needed him most to get the momentum back on the side of OpTic Texas. And then in the last match, we saw the MVP Shotzzy that we know and love, taking over maps, taking over Search and Destroy rounds. This is an OpTic Texas team that is full of steam. They're clicking on all cylinders, and they look dangerous, man, across the board. They're confident to play a map like Berlin in a series just so they can get reps going into the final. These guys are ready for this, man. You can see how fired up they were after the last win.
Listen to how fired up the crowd is right now. Just so you guys know, whenever an OpTic player just walks, if they just show their hand on the main stage, everybody goes crazy, and momentum is going to be on the side of OpTic in my opinion. Take a look at this. FaZe won the first 2 maps. The hard point went their way. They handled OpTic. When it came to Search and Destroy, yeah, they beat them by 3 rounds. Then OpTic took over, and they showed that they were the top dogs here.
Yeah, it was a really, really good series out of OpTic. That last map, though, I tweeted it out. FaZe completely crumbled, and that's what they cannot do here in this series. Undoubtedly, we know fundamentally they are a sensational team. We've just seen it all day Sunday. We're at the grand finals very, very fast, put it that way.
Yeah.
They cannot crumble. Their composure needs to be there. Like we see in maps number 1 and maps number 2 in that series. If they can bring that, it's going to be hard to beat them. It has to be said. But this crowd, if they get behind OpTic once more, which I have absolutely no doubt that they will, FaZe need to remain composed. It's the biggest factor for them.
It was really like a snowball going down the hill looking at the series layout. The control was 3-2. That's pretty close. The hard point, 250 to 186, and then you head into the S&D 6-0'd. Smoked right off the bat. That can't happen when you're Atlanta FaZe.
Not at all, but let's talk about composure just for a second. Nameless, that very last map, let's talk about P4, when Afro was going to get the flank on him. Yeah, he missed a few shots. He gave him some intel and whatnot, but it was RCs that really held it down. I believe it was you that was saying that he was underrated, and the fact that a veteran like that, amongst, you know, the tiny terrorists really popping off like that, I think FaZe got it all to really match up with.
Absolutely. I mean, Ali just mentioned it. Like, Arcitys has been popping off today. If it wasn't for him, they would be in a way worse spot right now.
They wouldn't be here. They would not be here.
The comeback would have happened. I
And
think
that-
they would have tied up with points.
For sure, and that is why they brought Arcitys into this team, right? They needed somebody in those moments to calm everybody down, to make the big play, especially with the AR, and that's what they needed. I mean, on the side of London Royal Ravens, I think Afro made a mistake shooting a little bit too early.
Yeah.
You know, giving his location up. If he waited, they maybe get a pinch in there, and this is a completely different thing that we're talking about right now. But you know, they give them that look. Arcitys gets the big two-piece, and you know, big time players make big time plays.
Right, kind of on the other side of that though, the spawn that he got as well. They should have never been offered the opportunity. You know,
I mean,
we were sitting here like, hold on, why is he spawned?
They did die on
There's no
rotation.
reason for that.
There was
Spawn out
some
P5s.
pressure on both sides. I will say
Yes,
that,
there
but
was.
it was a little bit too wild to see him spawn all the way back that.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where he spawned. It was still shut down by the winning team. But you know what we have to do? aLLeY, London, they put on one hell of a show. I mean,
They should not be
earned their
kicking
place.
themselves leaving this
No,
today.
not
We
at all.
have 2 EU teams in the top 4. Todd should be lit out of his mind right now.
What's wrong with you, man? I mean, you're
I just had to
hyped,
get.
right?
I watched them get smoked. That's what's the matter.
I'd rather get smoked in the top 4 than that
No,
at
I
all.
know. Look, they should both really happy with themselves. I think Toronto, on the one hand, not winning any hard points all weekend long and still finding themselves in top 4 is phenomenal. This London team, a lot of people, we've talked about it, the question marks around them, but the fact that they came in a top 3 placement for those guys, especially for some of them on the biggest of stages for the very first time, huge, huge achievement, and they will only get better.
Right now, let's go ahead and take a look at the team stats and the head-to-head modes that are about to be underway because this matchup is about to be fire. Nameless looking at these stats right now. All right, I said OpTic has momentum and the stats are on their side still.
This is from this major, and OpTic Texas have been on point during this major. A player like Dashy, he's just been taking over the game. I mentioned it earlier, and I'll mention it again. He hasn't played like this since early BO4 days. He's so comfortable on this team. Everybody has been turning up, and you see right there, 75% map win percentage. That's absurd. And a 1.12 overall KD, everyone is contributing to that. All game modes have been ridiculous. Search and destroy. Best search and destroy team through the last 3 days,
Yes.
undoubtedly. So I'm looking at OpTic Texas to make a statement here.
I'm not going to say just last 3 days. I mean, now the present is the time that we count the most. I'm just going to say they're the best
Fair
search and
enough.
destroy team right now. The fact that they're able to slap up team 6-0, 6-0.
Yeah,
And these teams aren't bums, aLLeY, okay? Atlanta FaZe are Simp, man. We know him and his S&D prowess, right? And also London Royal Ravens, they made it look way too easy.
But you know what? It was actually aBeZy when it came to that S&D, right? So I definitely think he's probably the player to watch in this series because he's been having a lot of slow starts. But we saw he was able to do in that Desert Siege, right? A complete turnaround to a 3.0 KD. So hopefully he comes out hot against OpTic.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead. We're going to unwind just a bit, get something to drink. You should as well because coming up next will be the Mountain Dew Major 1 Finals, and I can't wait. It's going to be OpTic Texas, and of course, it's going to be Atlanta FaZe. We'll see you guys on the other side.
Upgrade your game with a Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by TeamSpeak, the official broadcast communication partner of the Call of Duty League.
When you compete as long as I have, you learn a thing or two. You learn success isn't something you're given, it's something earned. Visit zenny.com/CDL to get a pair of Røkkr Zennies or any of your other favorite CDL teams today.